sir. Yeah.
Yay! Since we started interacting with local farms, we kind of realized that they are really struggling.
In the past 7 years, we didn't make any money.
Even after the COVID, we are going to deal with the labor shortage.
1 out of 2 are having cholesterol issues.
Oh my god, you all should patent this. No, this is really good. We have our own Singapore cocktail, right? So this is the equivalent and it's called the Singapore salad. It's all about making sure that we end food insecurity in Singapore.
It's very important that Singaporeans are coming together to support this food security against climate, against all the issues that we're facing in the world.
So I'm the third generation of a food distribution business. We've been around for 80 odd years, having gone through some very, very tough times, including bankruptcy at one point in 97, 98 during the Asian currency crisis. So everybody feels that like I'm just juggling, and as women of today, we have to look like we're so put together every time. But I enjoy being a superwoman. At some point, my hubby and my family always say, you like to save the world, right? To my kids, it's very cute because they know Mummy not as a food business person, but my mom's the co-founder of the food bank. My mummy is a food banker. That's the word that they use. I think they are also very proud junior food bankers. One of the inspirations behind setting up the junior food bank was also because of my children. Sorry for the mess, but every elephant represents a kid. I've got a little black elephant at the bottom there as well. That is like my husband in a sense. We've been together for more than 24 years already. He's always the wind beneath my wings and he supports me in a lot of the vision. So I guess it has spurred me on to ask myself, what is legacy? So whether is it co-founding the food bank with my brother or asking my husband as well, what do we want our kids to inherit? One of the very big things that we wanted them to inherit was this sense of being socially conscious, that they have a part to play in this world. I think with this rack, you have actually brought your farm to our building.
I think since the last 1 year and so, we do have our restaurateurs coming to talk to us to say that, hey, can you guys actually build a farm inside our restaurant?
Yeah.
We didn't feel that it made a lot of sense. The spaces at the restaurants are very, very precious. The challenge was that the amount of output they actually grow is actually quite little because the F&B staff is not dedicated to taking care of that. We brainstormed internally and then we came up with the idea of what if we could bring a portion of the farm into the restaurant without the complexity of actually growing the vegetables. So then we designed this system such that all the vegetables are grown in our farm, in our high-tech farm where everything is curated, all the parameters are ideal. And then we actually transport the live plants over to the restaurant or the premises itself, and then the crew can just harvest at any point in time at their convenience.
It's such a well thought through system, right? And I think more importantly, it looks very sexy also.
We've actually deployed this in some grocers as well. It's kind of like a landscape or kind of like a design. Correct. So you actually get a surprise when they actually see someone open the cabinet and actually start to harvest the plants. Can eat one.
Yeah.
And actually over here we have some quite interesting crops, right? Where they try really like the ice plant or the sorrel, and they're like, I didn't know plants could actually taste like this. There's a lot of engagement of, can grow plants like this, can eat one, can taste like this one. And I think it definitely helps to add value to the store. Like, oh wow, so you're actually serving the plants fresh.
Correct.
Because I actually see you harvest it right in front of me.
Yeah, and I think for chefs in restaurants, right, it's also like just in time.
Yep.
Your harvest is as fresh as it is. The consumer placed the order. And so there's less or minimal food wastage in that sense.
This is how I normally eat all of them so that I can have a taste of each one of it. So the spicy, the sour, the salty, right? And to top it off with the normal lettuce.
Yep.
And then
It's like a rojak.
take a bunch.
Wow, that's like chewing gum,
All flavors are in there.
All the flavors? Okay. And then we rojak it together.
It's so common for salads to taste.
Taste this way. Oh my god, you all should patent this. I believe so. No, this is really good. Cheers. 1, 2, 3. Cheers. how did you get into farming?
When my father was still around, he started two businesses. One was solar business. The other business is actually vertical farming. We are selling energy.
Yes.
And to me, the vegetable is another form of energy.
Correct.
In the last, I would say, 7 years, we failed many times.
Yeah.
Failing is not just in the growing itself.
Correct.
It's also in the whole aspect of commercialization. It hurts badly when you have a lot of vegetable coming up from the farm
Correct.
and no one to offtake it, you know.
Exactly.
So I always tell my mom, having it on the rack is the most expensive, but she grow those like little babies, right,
Yeah.
of hers. So sayang to throw it
Correct.
away. I would say for us in the past 7 years, we didn't make any money.
Yeah, correct.
Right, so I don't know of any other vertical farm that is making money actually. But without trying, you will never get to a target, right?
I mean, like, this is like a Ritz-Carlton, right? For the plants. And then right behind us, when I first walked in, there's so much variety.
When we first started, like I mentioned, it was an experiment. So I recall my mom trying out different varieties, no less than 60 to 70 varieties in total.
Wow.
We tried all sorts of Asian greens, nai pai, xiao pai cai. I recall SFA came to our farm and said, wow, your nai pai is so beautiful, right?
But you can see that it's much greener than what we see in the supermarkets.
Looks good, right? Almost looks fake, yeah.
I don't mind using it as a wedding bouquet, you know, at some point.
And I guess really is to try to overcome this whole problem of 30-30. So we try to focus on Asia greens and see if we can bring it to what I call cost parity with the market.
You know, Frank, everyone is complaining, right? You know, local vegetables is like expensive.
So my personal goal is really to have a farm that can tackle this issue, right, of Asia greens, where you can have scale and work towards a price point towards the $5 per kilo price point and be at a cost parity with whatever is sold in the market today for other Asia greens.
I see. What is this?
This is the small
Baby radish, right? Yeah.
No, grown up quite rapid. Initially, we started with our own little experimentation. I would say like Frankenstein, different parts of the equipment together, right? You have your lighting, you have your racking, and your piping systems. What we have experienced over this journey is to leverage on what other people have done. So working with experts like yourself in terms of distribution and achieving this farm to table such that everything is kept fresh.
Since you mentioned about marketing, right, and promotion, so I think one thing that we did was to come up with the Singapore salad.
I love the packaging.
Yeah, thank you. I guess one of the things is to simplify. How do you identify, you know, things that are grown in Singapore? So we will be promoting this to the F&B establishments. Variety provides that flavor of life, right? And I think thanks to farmers like you, we actually now have all this high-tech farming that we can develop the flavors of Singapore. There's so much more that we can look forward to what can be produced in Singapore and maybe even duplicated what we can share over here to overseas market as well.